Hi friends, so good evening and welcome to another session with me, Varun Rao on TechTablet. And as you know, it was announced on quite a lot of Facebook pages, over the WhatsApp and over my website as well. We would be beginning with a basic level ABAP course on the internet on the YouTube. I just hope it benefits at least a few. That is the basic notion. So what we'll do is just before we begin and before we get into it, let us just understand what the history is and the foundation of ABAP, and let's understand some basics of ABAP, and let's just look at what is ERP. During which I would also be talking about what are the different things we would be looking at when we cover this portion. Let me be very honest, this would be best for beginners or people who are just trying to get in for their first job. This is not suggestible for people who already worked on floor over a period of 1.5 2 years, right? So I would not advise that people who are already experienced waste their time over these videos. Yeah, so that's the first disclaimer. And secondly, this is with the hope that it would at least benefit a few, for those at least in terms of interview perspective, or probably to understand what is ABAP and to take a decision if they should get into ABAP or not before they make a choice of which module or which domain they want to get into, and to give an overview of what ERP is all about and what is it that we as developers would be working on if it is for ABAP. Yeah, so that's the motive. So to begin with, when you talk of any business process, right? I'm just talking about a business process. This is, or you can say that this is any business process. It could be any random business process. So the first thing that always comes up is to identify what is the requirement that you have towards the project. You would want to organize a project. It's identifying the root cause. Now you, what is it that you want to do? You want to sell books, you want to sell clothes, you want to become a teacher, you want to start an institute. So yeah, that is identification. Then you analyze, right? When you say analyze, you would come with various design solutions that are required for the project to kick off, apart from which you would be now when you come up with a concept, you would also be requiring a proof of concept. How far would this concept be eligible, right? After which you have a green signal, you would then work on building foundations towards your dream, or towards your organization, wherein you would be having test projects, you would be having pilot projects, you would be having reports, you should be having a lot of conversions from the older system to the newer system. All this would be happening, and then you would be validating, after which you would be having a deployment, and then once it is deployed, you would work on improving the business scenario. So right from identification to deployment is one life cycle of any business. And when you say deploy, it is you have a lot of things here also. You just don't call it deployment once it goes live. There are a lot of other activities that come into picture as well, like training the end user uh, on various challenges, or various issues, or it could be basic training as well. Apart from this, you also have production system deployment. You would be working on conversions. Then you have go live support. What if there's a challenge once you have delivered a system? There is always a scope of error, and notwithstanding error, there might be a lot of changes that the customer or the client might look for. So even post deployment, you would be having a lot of things to be working on when you talk of an entire business process. And in the meanwhile, you would be having to start your work right from the scratch, which is to identify what is it that you want to do, to validation. And once it's done with, then you work on improvement or enhancements, as you call it. So to just talk about what is SAP ABAP, right? Here you would be having, okay, see, unlike how front-end technologies work, wherein you have a request and a response gateway which is followed, Here in SAP, GUI, particularly SAP ABAP, you would not be having any request response approach. Rather, we follow, a DIAG, which is a diagram, dynamic information and action gateway, right? Through which you give a transaction and you would be having a requisite output for that. And for this, you have an SAP GUI, which is a graphic user interface, on which you would be having ABAP as a software, or as a piece of code which is being executed. Now, what does this do? Why do we have to use this ABAP interface? Now, must definitely be a question at this point of time. For all those who are from MBA background, because you must be having a good understanding of what ERP is, but then people from MBA background would not be getting into ABAP. So let me just take another minute of yours to explain what do we mean by, or what do we do as ABAP developers. So we develop the required processes for an organization to function. Now, when I say required processes, it could be finance, it could be HR, manufacturing, supply chain, services, procurement. Now, it could be a wide range of services. Now, let us say you are in an organization as a developer. You work for organization X. Okay. Now, all these employees must be having payslip which is generated. Notwithstanding the payslip, they must be having a lot of other documentational work which is to be done with each and every time salary is generated. Apart from salary, you would also be having their appraisals. You would also be having, notwithstanding appraisals, their leaves. Everything is to be taken into consideration, and they are all to be recorded. Now, all these fall under the HR department. Now, when you talk of finance and HR, they have some parts of things which go hand in hand. Like when you talk of pay slips, it is related something to HR, because it is when you do not have your salary on time, you would be calling your HR and you would not be calling your financial person, or you would not be calling the person who's associated or concerned with finance. But then when the HR asks you or redirects you to someone else, that's a different case altogether though, right? The same salary slip, because it's to be generated or because it's to be approved by the finance team, it is something which is related to them as well. Again, finance and manufacturing, like it would not be wrong to say that almost all the modules go hand in hand and they are all interdependable on each other. One without another would make no sense. Or you can also say they make it there would be a void a lot of times. Now let us say manufacturing. Now when you talk of manufacturing, there would be certain expenses which would be incurred to each and every organization. Now these expenses are to be filed even in finance and are to be seen even on the manufacturing end as well, because at the end of every quarter or probably every month, the manufacturing specialist would like to analyze what is the expenditure incurred only on manufacturing sector, and what are the different cost cutting factors that he can work upon, or where are the focus areas that he needs to make changes to. So all these are very tightly and closely integrated to each other. Now when you step into any organization as an ABAP developer, you would be having a wide range of functionalities that you would be required to work upon in order to ensure that there is smooth flow of all the transactions in any organization. Now when I say transaction, it's I do not mean that to be a financial in nature. It could be any transaction for smooth flow of the organization. This module would be required for us, wherein we would be working as developers, and you would be developing their or you would be delivering them with their required functionalities. Right now, at its most basic level, ERP integrates all these processes into a single system, and this single system is the SAP GUI, which has the ABAP interface on which we would be working on. Now why SAP? Why not something else? to be very honest, there are a lot of competitors in the market. It's not that SAP is the only one who is hoisting the flag. You still have Oracle. You have a lot of other, big uh, competitors to SAP. But then, to talk of SAP in specific, there are, some brilliant features that SAP offers, notwithstanding the price, but then they offer one of the latest technologies, apart from which you have a lot of a wide range of features which have come up of late. Now I'm just talking of why SAP. I'm not talking of why SAP ABAP, or why SAP HR or MM or PP or S4. I'm just talking of why SAP as an organization. You can always switch according to your requirements, because as of now you have a wide array of options through which you could choose from. You have big data, you have analytics, you have enterprise mobility, you have IoT, you have AI. Now you can even say machine learning and deep learning are coming to be a part of SAP, thanks to SAP Leonardo, that's coming into picture. So this ERP in specific, which is SAP, is trying to help customers run live and ensure that their business go digital and their business can get as flexible as possible. And apart from this, you also can eliminate the IT complexity, bringing in a lot of transparency. And the most important fact is you can act on your real-time information. No matter what, or where your industry is, or whatever your business size is, you can always work on it. And SAP is working towards that, and it's working pretty fiercely. So that is one of the big reason why SAP is being preferred as compared to other organizations. Okay, now when you talk of SAP, you would be having a lot of data that is stored, and these the variants of data are something like these. You have strings that can be stored, you have dates, you have Boolean values that can be entered, objects can be handled, numeric, texts, alphanumeric. You have a wide range of numeric and non-numeric data types that can be worked upon. On this chart in specific, it's a non-numeric data type variant. And once we begin with the session, wherein we would be beginning with the free ABAP tutorials, we would be looking at how to handle and execute these numeric and non-numeric data types while we are creating a program, or probably when we are creating a table, etc., etc. We'll just keep looking at things as we keep moving forward. So this is why we use ABAP. ABAP is basically used for by us, or for us to design the UI, the user interface, that is with certain functionalities as per the requirement of the client or the customer. Now this is how a screen would typically look like. Would request you to follow my mouse pointer, which is here. Now this picture in specific is how your landing page of your SAP ABAP screen would look like. Here you would be having a T code box. This is the place where you would be entering a T code. T code is abbreviated as a transaction code, right? So each and every time you enter a code, you would be having some output which is referred to as a transaction, right? Now whenever you enter a T code, it would prompt the software to open a required screen for your perusal. You have n number of T codes like SE11, SE38, smart forms, smart styles. You have a wide range of T codes that you can enter here, and you can use them as per the requirement of the client. Apart from T code, you have some options on the top on the menu bar, and you also have a favorites menu in which you can set what are the widely used, or what are the frequently used T codes, or whatever you have, you can set them in that place. So so friends, this is what ABAP is all about. So I hope you have understood something, and I hope it would also help you in making a decision, or coming to a decision, or at least giving you an idea about what SAP ABAP is, and if you can take this up as a module for you or not. Now please do not talk of the difficulty of a module, or difficulty of any technology, because every technology would have its own set of complexities that are to be handled. right? So yeah, that is, pretty subjective. So I hope you've liked, what we've been discussing over this, in this session or in this video in specific. So if you have anything that you want to talk or, discuss or probably ask, you have the comment section right below the video box. Please make use of it. And if you have liked the video, please hit the like button. Your appreciation would, definitely drive us to do more. And if you are looking for regular updates, you can always follow us. And if you feel that this would also help others, then please do use the share button, as I'm sure there would be someone looking for some information on this module, and if it could help them, yeah, then nothing like it. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you feel that everything is good, and if you really are looking for day-to-day updates on this module or about SAP, you can always subscribe to my channel, and you can hit the bell button for regular alarms or for regular notifications of the same. I hope you've enjoyed watching the session and learned something new. And do stay subscribed to this channel, TechTablet, for many more, to be exchanged between us. As there's a lot of knowledge yet to be exchanged between us. Thank you. Have a great day.